Like, why do we get drunk as human beings? Why do we enjoy that? Why do we enjoy getting high and smoking weed or doing other types of drugs that elevate or change our state of consciousness?
Hold up. I am the Hungarian experiment.
Alright, what's going on, guys? So I wanted to record this video here real quick. I literally just hopped out of the shower. I did a nice workout down here in the basement of the mansion, aka my room, and I did it on IG Live. And actually, while I was IG Live, I ate I ate 3 of these and I ate 3 more. So I believe I ate about 120 milligrams of this Himalayan salt chocolate marijuana edible here. Feeling really good, and threw some broccoli and some asparagus into the oven because right now I'm cooking up a whole pork shoulder roast, and poured myself a glass of wine, started sipping that. Then I went up for a nice cold shower. Really, really hot first, then to cold. And the whole time I was just vibing out there. I was really enjoying myself in the shower. And I was just contemplating the next kind of month here. I basically, not just the next month, the next week, the next month, and the next year. Because right now, I turn 30 on April 11th. Today is March 30th or March 31st. Basically, there's about less than 2 weeks until my birthday, and I try not to dwell too much on this kind of stuff, but as I'm going to mention in a video that I'm going to record on my actual birthday, is that I'm making some big changes. I'm going to go straight edge for a whole year. I'm not going to have any alcohol. I'm not going to have any marijuana, which I've been getting in my system almost daily for the last decade, hands down. Might have broke for a year or so, but since I've been 17 to 18 years old, I've been smoking daily, and I turned 30 in the next couple weeks here. So this is going to be a big thing for me. I'm not too concerned about it, but it's going to be a challenge. And I was just thinking there in the shower while I was really enjoying myself after I just ate this edible, and it's been in my system for about an hour, and I was sipping this wine, and I was just listening to some music on my phone, and I was really enjoying myself. I was really vibing out and enjoying the experience. And if you guys know, recently I just finished reading this book, or about 4 or 5 months ago now, I think, The Doors of Perception by Aldous Huxley. Basically, it's the whole discussion about altered states of consciousness. He talks about his experience taking mescaline, and if you guys know my journey right now over the last year and a half, almost 2 years now, I've been extensively experimenting around with magical mushrooms. So I'm a little stuttery here because, again, I am enjoying myself right now. I've had a good portion of this chocolate bar as well as a glass of wine, and I'm feeling really good. And again, I was just vibing out, and I was just questioning this whole concept about altered states of consciousness. And again, in this book, as well as a couple other books that I read recently, one concept that they discuss actually in the Animals and Psychedelics book that I read is that mandrills and different animals actually get inebriated.
And guys, if you guys haven't checked out this book, it's pretty easy to read, pretty nice and easy to digest. It's only about 100 pages, Animals and Psychedelics. So on page 58, he discusses that a male mandrill, and a mandrill is that crazy looking ape or monkey that has the red and blue face. I'll show you guys right now. These fuckers look intimidating as hell. But it says, when a mandrill must engage in combat with another, he first finds and digs up an iboga bush. And if you guys know what iboga is, it's like the African hallucinogenic drug. So it's kind of like ayahuasca, but in Africa. And a lot of people actually utilize iboga to get over alcoholism or cigarette addiction and stuff like that. So iboga really helps to get people over really hard addictions. And it says it digs up an iboga bush, eating its root. Next, he waits for its effect to hit him full force, which can take up to 1 to 2 hours, and only then does he approach and attack the other male. The fact that the mandrill waits like this to feel the full effect of the drug before attacking demonstrates a high level of premeditation and awareness of what he is doing. So that's fascinating, guys. Before I read this book, and I think most people have this kind of propagated idea that getting drunk or getting inebriated and doing drugs is more or less like a human trait, but this is actually an instinctual drive within us, and I think it's fascinating. So
And I was questioning to myself in the shower while I was really enjoying this experience, and I've been questioning over the last few months, like, why myself, as well as human beings in general, aspire to and chase these concepts of altered states of consciousness. Like, why do we get drunk as human beings? Why do we enjoy that? Why do we enjoy getting high and smoking weed or doing other types of drugs that elevate or change our state of consciousness? And it's just a fascinating concept. And again, for myself, smoking weed over the last decade, experimenting around with alcohol regularly, not like crazy, but just frequently, a couple times a week. Sometimes I go like off of it for a bit, but like it's not that like I stay away from it. And then along with that too, the last year and a half of extensively experimenting around with psychedelics, and more specifically magic mushrooms, and I did one experiment with acid or LSD. And again, while I was vibing out there in the shower, I was just thinking to myself, analyzing the situation right now where I'm really enjoying myself vibing out. Whereas if I wasn't, on this marijuana edible as well as a glass of wine, would I be like kind of dancing around here in the shower and enjoying myself? And it felt very like, I'm still human, of course. I'm still Peter Klosko, the Hungarian experiment. I'm still that guy with these ideas going on. But I was definitely like just enjoying my body more. I felt animalistic. I felt like in the present moment, but also very like controlled by my body, controlled by the vibe of the music, and having these two different substances in my system felt like I was more loose. And then I thought to myself, man, I gotta enjoy this right now, because like in the next week and a half to 2 weeks, like I'm gonna be stopping this for a whole year. What's my life gonna be like when I stop these substances? When I get to this point in life where I'm always so heavily analytical, analyzing everything. I find it hard to sleep some nights. Actually, most nights when I don't have weed in my system or marijuana. And all these ideas were coming in my head, like while still vibing out and enjoying myself and being like kind of animalistic. And I was just like, I think this is why I enjoy altered states of consciousness. Now I'm going to explore over the next year of not, altering my state of consciousness, which is nothing new for some people. Some people are straight edge to begin with. They very infrequently will ever alter their state of consciousness, or they'll only do it with like one substance. So this is either a huge deal for some people who maybe have addiction problems, or this might not be a huge deal at all for some people. But again, it's just that whole theory and concept about altered states of consciousness with substances. And I feel like I'm not going to be, I don't know, I'm very interested to see what's going to happen over this next year, of course. But right now, just in the heat of the moment, I feel I alter my state of consciousness, because this was almost like I just kind of had a glass and ate this edible without even really considering why I'm doing this, right? Like, in terms of the grand scheme of things. Again, this is just all stream of consciousness right now. I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you are, smash that like button. If you're watching this on YouTube or wherever we're watching this, maybe in the future as well too. But I enjoy altering my state of consciousness because I feel it makes me more animalistic when I want to be animalistic. I feel still human and in control, unless I want to keep going and let myself be not in control with this substance by taking more, for instance. But now I know where that level of control is with these different substances, and I really enjoy that aspect, that feeling of this animalistic nature, this more present moment and flow and in tune with my body that I feel I don't get as much when I'm not inebriated or under the influence of a substance. So I just wanted to share that here. I feel like the next year is going to be very interesting for me as I experiment around with this and, go straight edge for a year and don't get any kind of substance in my body. One thing I do question as well, too, is like, am I going to be able to sleep? Am I going to be able, or are my sleeping patterns going to be off? Will it take a little bit just to adapt? And if I can't adapt, what am I going to do? And I question, too, it's like, you guys will see in the video I'm going to come out with on my birthday there, but I'm going to say how I'm going to go for this superhuman status, where for the last, 30 years of my life, I've been not trying to live like superhuman. I've been everything I feel I've been doing in regards to optimization, in regards to my body, is achievable naturally by someone who still works an average job, is the average human being. Like, you don't need to be special. Now, the last couple of years of my life have been a very unique lifestyle that most people don't have, but I haven't been pushing myself physically to its limits, which I feel I can do because I do have the time. I just haven't been doing it. So after 30, in the next couple weeks here, I'm going to go full tilt. And I feel like that's going to help my body, help me get to sleep, because I'm going to be doing like a lot more physical activity to help drain my body. And I question for people who do take substances but don't push themselves physically. Like, again, I just worked out here today. I worked out the other day. I did boxing yesterday, and the day before that I've been working out. But for people who don't work out, I feel what I question here while I'm in this state and this stream of consciousness is, and I question for myself, if I didn't work out and I did stop these substances, is this built up drive, this built up anxiety, this built up animalistic state that I'm able to get myself in with the substances, and then stopping the substances and me not being able to get in that state. Can I just push myself more physically to get to that state and drain that kind of animalistic state out of my body? Is that something we crave as human beings because we're so stuck in the future and the past that substances help get us into this animalistic state, in more in the present moment? Even though it might be due to inebriation, it's still more of that animalistic state. But it's something that we crave as human beings because of our over analytical nature, of our, being able to dictate time and over always delaying gratification for things, that those animalistic moments, even like times like sex and all that kind of stuff, they're very present and grounding and good for us as human beings. So I question, like, are most people suffering from anxiety and these other types of mental as well as physiological things that they could possibly get over if they were pushing their body to its limits, if they were being animalistic in nature in other aspects of their lives? These are just questions I'm asking. I'm not trying to base judgment on anyone or tell anyone what to do. I'm just questioning these things, of course, while I'm a little under the influence. But that's what I was questioning in the shower there. That I know I'm going to be able to get this animalistic nature that I am able to get while under the influence of substances out, because I'm going to train so much harder. Next year, like in the next few weeks, I'm going to be going full tilt. And it's just something for myself that, like, I'm just going to put my time and effort into something else. So it's not going to be something on my mind. It's not going to bother me. I'm going to be able to drain my body. But for other people, I question if those other things, and again, not for everyone, but can be mitigated with either a substance, which is not always the best idea, of course, because I believe there are certain negatives to almost every kind of substance in some kind of a way, but in general, like through physical activity or other animalistic processes, sexual activity, being more social, just all these things. The things that optimize us as human beings as well too. Can we lean on those to have us be able to negate the necessity of those animalistic drives we get from substance abuse? Or those people who do have anxiety, can they get it out by switching to something else, like more physical activity or, again, more other social factors? God, I hope that made sense. It made sense to me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did manage to make it all the way through this, these are the crazy things that go on in my head while I'm having showers and working out and stuff. And again, I've been pondering this concept of like altered states of consciousness, why I crave altered states of consciousness, and how over the next year I'm not going to have it, and just altered states of consciousness for other people. Because again, I really enjoy watching other people, studying other people. I see the things that they consume and what they eat, especially when they're showing it on social media, and it's just fascinating to me that altered states of consciousness is something that we humans definitely crave and animals crave too. So it's just a fascinating subject. So hope you guys enjoyed this topic, and understood it the whole way through and it made sense. I have no idea. If you got sense out of it, leave me a comment in the comment section below and smash that like button. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I am the Hungarian Experiment.